Hey everyone, this is Ete with another episode of Eco Lawn Science. For today's episode, I'm going to play a clip from my interview with Dean Johnson. Dean is the founder of Healthy Homes Pest Control in Virginia area. And for those of you who don't know, I do a podcast called The Company Next Door where I interview entrepreneurs and tell their stories. And so I'm on the road for that. Anyway, I'm here actually in Virginia. I did an episode with Dean for the business podcast, and he is a pest control expert, and he runs an incredible company. And at the end, I asked him to share some tips, some great advice. And so when he did, I thought, I gotta save that and share it with my Eco Lawn Science audience. So here it is. This is from my interview with Dean Johnson. What's something you would, what's a tip that you could share with them, in pest control space? So maybe is there something that they can do to work to maximize what you're doing?
Absolutely. We practice what is called in the industry integrated pest management, and even now that's changing to assessment-based pest management, where we go in and in some jobs we don't do any treatment on the initial visit. We just set out insect traps and monitors to be able to assess the pest pressure, what to identify the insect and find out what's going on. Things that homeowners can do around the outside of your house. If you've got shrubs and tree branches and things touching your house, trim that stuff back so it's not touching your house. Keep the leaves and things raked away from your house. Do not stack firewood up against your house. That's termite food. Yeah. And if you want to get termites in your house, feed them on the outside wall of your house with your firewood. Inside your house, just basic sanitation. Sweep up after the meals. Don't leave your dirty dishes and food out overnight. Take the trash out every night. Little things like that. Insects need food, shelter, and water. So we tell people, integrated pest management involves getting rid of those three things for insects. Don't leave food out for them. When it gets cold, we get a lot of rodent calls. Mice come in, they find your bird seed, they find grass seed in your garage, they find anything in your pantry closet that is in a cardboard box that they can chew through. So keep things, particularly bird seed and grass seed, in metal trash cans. Dog food, pet food, keep it in containers that insects can't get into. And if you like bird feeders and like to watch the birds, hang that bird feeder out at the far end of your yard, because all that bird feed that falls on the ground is food for rodents, and they'll come and eat that. And if you got it hanging off the side of your house, those rodents are going to be right there.
You're inviting them in.
When they eat all the bird seed, they're going to come in your house looking for more.
What is something for expectations? So a lot of people, let's say it's their first time hiring a pest control company. So I look online, I come across Healthy Homes, I call you up. What should I expect as a customer when you come do the visit? Should I expect no bugs ever? Should I expect some? What do I expect result-wise?
Result-wise.
And how quick, or what?
Most insects we can bring under control on the first visit. Ants is probably our number one call that we get for much of the year, and we can usually bring those under control with one visit. That first visit, we do a treatment inside, and we do an outside treatment. We use multiple products to kind of create concentric rings of protection around your house. Some insects take a couple of visits. Cockroaches. There are two kinds of cockroaches generally in this part of Virginia. American cockroaches is kind of the native cockroach. They oftentimes will just come in from outside. Then there are German cockroaches, which are they're pretty much a structural pest. They don't live outside. They live inside human habitations with us. Those German cockroaches in particular can take a number of visits depending on what kind of cooperation we get from the customer. Yeah. There will be some things customers have to do to make their home uninviting to cockroaches. So that could take a couple, 2, 3, sometimes 6 or 8 visits monthly to bring cockroaches under control. But most of the time, once we do that initial, we call it a clean out service, most of the time your insect pests are going to go away. Then we come back quarterly to reinforce that outside barrier. Any time in between the quarterly services, we provide no cost treatments inside if you need us. You come down. I had a fellow last year on Christmas Eve called up. He came down that morning. There were ants all over his kitchen counter. Yeah, I went out on Christmas Eve and took care of those. That's what we do. That's all part of our service. Some insects are harder to control. We get Asian lady beetles, ladybugs, and stink bugs, and some box elder bugs, but not so many here. You probably get a lot more.
We get a lot
out
of those.
west.
They're tough.
Yeah,
they're crazy.
They're autumn invaders. When it gets cold out,
Yeah.
they look for a place to spend the winter. Normally that would be under the bark of a tree or in a pile of leaves somewhere, but under the siding of your house works too. And that's when they come in and they sense the heat inside, and they come out early inside your house. And so all winter you've got this steady flow of insects coming out, crawling around on your walls, and they drive people crazy. You can call us up to come out and spray those guys, but you'll be calling us every other day, and we'll be applying way too much pesticide inside your house. What we like to do is, if you're on a regular plan and we're coming out quarterly, is in the fall we treat the outside of your house to stop those insects from getting in. It's not going to eliminate them completely, but it's going to reduce the number that find their way in. Once they're in, you just got to vacuum them up. That's really the safest way to do it.
So what would I expect to pay for, and I know it's going to depend probably on the size and what you have to do, but this initial visit, quarterly visits, can you give me just a rough ballpark if I've got an average, Virginia home?
Yeah, if your house is under 4,000 square feet, typically that initial service will list out for around $200, $195, $200. And this, again, depends on how busy we are.
Yeah.
And if we have to end up paying overtime because we're busier, we'll stick closer to that price. Gotcha. When things slow down this time of year, we discount that initial service. And again, depending on the results of the initial inspection, when we go out and look, that price could be as low as $99 for the initial service. And then we charge $39 a month for the plan that we do. That plan includes the quarterly services plus inside service on request and as needed.
Oh, that's cool.
So
monthly, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
For just take it on an automatic payment or something, and I give you my card, ding, 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 every month.
Yep, that's how we do it. And that works well for the integrated pest management because you're not. We want to get away from this old-fashioned mentality of pay per spray.
Yes.
Because
it's so crazy.
Because you're not paying us to be. We're not pesticide applicators. We're pest control specialists.
Yeah.
And our job is to keep insects out of your house. And that may vary depending on the neighborhood you live in, depending on the weather at the time of the treatment, depending on all kinds of variable factors. So each house is a little bit different. And so, we want to get away from this mentality of, a pay per spray. Just pay a flat monthly fee. It makes it easy, makes it simple, and we will provide whatever service is required to keep your house pest free.
I love that, and I do hope all those industries get away from that. My last couple questions are kind of just more fun questions, but what's your favorite insect, and what is your least favorite insect?
My favorite insect is probably yellow jackets.
What? Why?
Because they fight back.
They're horrible though. They get you.
It's more of a challenge.
Yeah.
You got to find them. Usually people discover yellow jackets mid to late summer because by then their nest in the ground out in the yard has gotten big enough, then they're brave enough that when you mow the grass, they come out and attack you. And so that's usually when we get the call. It's like, oh, my husband just got stung by yellow jackets out mowing the grass. So you go out there, and they don't know exactly where it is. It's somewhere on that side of the yard, so you got to go out there and you got to look and you got to find the hole they're coming out of. And then usually for yellow jackets, we dust them. We use an electric and insecticide duster. It's for putting down dust. A lot of people who do it yourself pest control are familiar with diatomaceous earth.
Yeah.
I go in houses all the time and I see people who got a bag of diatomaceous earth and sprinkled it all over their house and made a big clumpy mess. That has to be applied with a duster, and we have an electric tool that does that. It's an $800 tool that applies it properly. You don't even want to see the dust once you've applied it, but it's perfect for bees. For yellow jackets, we stick the nozzle in the hole and we zap them with some dust, and that'll take care of them. So
if your favorite is yellow jacket, what is the least favorite?
The autumn invaders, they kind of bother me because there's not more that we can do. When you get stink bugs or ladybugs that come in your house, especially if you call us, in April about ladybugs, they're in your walls and there's nothing we can do to get them out.
Gotcha.
And really the best way to get rid of them is over time. Customers we've had on the plan for 2 years where we are treating the outside of their house through a couple of seasons, start to see a drastic reduction in those insects. So they're a little bit more difficult to control. Cockroaches, nobody likes cockroaches.
Yeah, they're the worst.
They're hard to get rid of, and
They're nasty and yucky.
yeah, nobody likes them. Rodents, I'm not crazy about rodents. Rodents are probably the filthiest pest we have.
Yeah.
People think mice are cute. Mice are not cute. Mice are,
They're so nasty.
are filthy vermin, and everybody always wants us to. Can we catch them and let them go outside? Or they've been catching them and letting them go outside. They come right back in.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have no bladder control. They run around leaving little trails of urine everywhere they go. People also think that when they see a mouse or even an insect, a cockroach, I saw them over in that corner there. That's where the mouse is, or that's where the cockroach is. If you have seen a mouse in your house anywhere, it has been everywhere. So start washing your silverware and your plates and things before you use them, because those mice have been all over that, and they've urinated all over it. And likewise with cockroaches. Cockroaches defecate and vomit on all the surfaces that they travel across, and they carry all kinds of disease as well, just like mice do.
That's a good tip, and that's nasty as well. All right. Well, Dean, thank you for your time, and thank you for sharing these lessons with us.
My pleasure.
Awesome. And thank you guys for tuning into this episode of The Company Next Door, and we will see you on the road.